Hi everybody, today I'm coming on to show you some fabric and crochet flowers that I made, and I'm also going to do a tutorial on how to make them and how I made them. As you can see, they're made from fabric yo-yos or Suffolk puffs, and they have a border, sorry I'm a bit caught in the throat, they have a border of crochet border and little crochet flower in the middle. Like, you don't have to be able to crochet to make these. In fact, later on in the video I will show you how you can make them even if you don't know how to crochet. But for starters, if you want to make flowers like these, you need lightweight crochet, lightweight fabric, cotton fabric. That's what I'd recommend. You also need crochet thread, a crochet hook, and needle and thread, and a scissors. Now, I use size 5 crochet cotton, but you can use whatever you feel comfortable with and alter the spacing of the border. So let's get started. The first thing I did was to cut out some fabric circles like this one here. Sorry, I'll remove these so that you don't get too distracted. I suppose I should show you a few more up close. I made fabric flowers or crochet flowers for the centres, but you don't have to do that. There's another one. You can just use, any lace flowers or pearl gems or anything you've got. So I cut out circles from lightweight cotton. Now just a minute till I see what size this one here is. It's 11 centimetres or 4 1/4 inches. Now I wasn't too fussy about what size they were. What I used was the middle template that I used when I was making my mushrooms. But you can use saucers, cups, anything circle. You have to cut out a bit of card and use it then. And if you're interested in making mushrooms, like the ones I made last year, it starts off like the top of the mushroom. But if you want to know how to make mushrooms like this, I leave a link to my mushroom making tutorial in the description box. Excuse the dog hair. There's dog hairs on everything in this house. But there you are, if you want a little project to keep yourself and anybody else in your family occupied. That's another grand little idea. So I cut out my circle, and then the first step, you just make, sorry folks, that's the dog, just a minute. Sorry about that, that's what happens when you have animals in the house. And then I ran a row of gathering stitches all around the edge of it. That's just a running stitch, up and down, up and down. And while I use the size 5 crochet cotton, you don't have to do this. You can use ordinary thread, as long as it's strong thread and it'll stand up to a bit of pulling. And then I put my thumb in the middle and I pull the thread. And this gathers the cotton circle, the fabric circle, up into a nice little round shape. And then I fasten it off. And you don't have to be precise because you can hide the middle of the circle later. When I started making these, I used to carefully turn in the raw edges, and then I realised it wasn't necessary, that I was only wasting my time. So that's the way I do it, and then I'll cut it off. And I'm just inserting the top of the crochet hook into it, the roundy end, just to even it out. that away. And then, sorry about that, then I get my needle and I thread it with about 2 feet of cotton thread. And I put a knot in it. It doesn't matter because usually I don't like putting knots in thread, but at this stage it doesn't matter because it'll all be hidden. And I bring the needle out around the edge of the little puff and I work a row of back stitch. Sorry, I'll have to go to the side here. I work a row of back stitch all around the edge of the circle. Now the size of the back stitches, it's at least 1/4 of an inch or a bit bigger. And I work them fairly, I don't pull them tight, but I work them fairly firmly because you're going to be crocheting into them later. So I keep going, excuse the state of my fingers, I keep going like that until I have a row of back stitch worked around the edge of the little yo-yo. And it looks like this. And the reason, there again, I work back stitch, it's firm and you can crochet into it. I would not use a running stitch for this. And then I get my thread and my hook. It's a size 2.5 crochet hook. And I join it into any of the little stitches. Just join it with the slip stitch and chain, and I work a single crochet into it, into the first loop. Then I go on into the next loop. Sorry, I'm watching myself on the screen. I'm not actually sitting down crocheting. So I make 5 double crochets into the next loop to act as a little shell. That's using the American crochet terms. If you're in the UK or Ireland, that's a double crochet followed by 5 trebles. Or you can use whatever edging stitch you like best to work your way around. You can also start off facing from the back, and as you tighten up as you go along, your loops will tighten up and they look less loopy. You'll get the feel for it after a while and learn how to tighten up the row of back stitch. I've lost track of how many I'm putting into that, but you get the idea. You just keep going around, and that's how eventually you'll end up with your little crochet and yo-yo flower. I'll put that one aside for the moment. I think you can see there, and I put the flower on it to hide the rough edges. That's basically how it goes. Of course, you could decide you're going to glue or sew down that edge and put the flower there. Now, I'll bring this back again. For those of you that don't crochet, you can also do a stitched version of that, like this one here. I have made the yo-yo or the little puff the same way as I started off, you know, by doing a running stitch around the edge of a circle, drawing it off and fastening it off, and then I just make it up and I stitch a row of lace. Gathered lace is the best. You can see this one here. I stitch a row of gathered lace all around the outside. Now I stitched it on the machine, but you could also hand sew it. There you are. Added a button in the middle. You could add any kind of a flower centre, whatever you like in the centre. So that's how I do it, and I hope you found this useful, and I hope the sound is okay. I didn't check it before I came on because I'm kind of got out of the habit of making YouTube videos. But there you are, the crochet version, the stitched version. Actually, I could have put a second row of lace around it. Lovely way of using up your fabric scraps and your bits of lace. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and stay sane, folks. Thank you. Bye.